So we wanted to touch on some rumors about uniform changes.
I love it. These segments get me horny. Talking about name and or uniform changes, I'm all in.
Bram Weinstein, who's the play-by-play announcer for the Washington Commanders, said on his podcast that the Commanders are considering making some changes, some small changes to the uniform, though he says there's no timeline. His quote is, "Will that happen anytime soon? I don't think so, but that's a change you may see in the not too distant future." Now, to give you a little background on the NFL rules, teams are restricted from making uniform changes more than once every 5 seasons.
Okay.
So Washington would typically have to wait until 2027 to introduce a new look. But they say extenuating circumstances such as their recent ownership change could allow them to accelerate that timeline. Now, that's speculation.
Like it. Like to
But
hear
what
that.
does this signify to you, Cakes? Does this signify that something larger is brewing?
Well,
Oh, you know where he's going with this.
this completely
setting them up.
it dovetails with the fact that I'm resolute that they will change their name at some point. And look, this timeline, if they don't give the Harris Group like some sort of exemption, and it's 2027, I said by 2027, I believe the name will be changed. And if you change the name, then of course you're going to tweak the uniforms with a name change. You're not going to go with the fill-in uniforms that came out in 2022.
Weinstein added, if I had to guess, and I'm guessing, something that merges their old Redskins look into a more modern feel with those colors. I know this ownership group really, really, really wants to lean into the past.
Right.
Yeah.
The easiest way to do that and merge the new with the old is to have something very reminiscent of that look.
Yeah, I would go back to something that's very similar to the iconic uniform that Washington fans are used to. Not this weird bastardization of the colors.
I could see it happening in a couple years. But if the NFL sticks to this rule, it's going to be 2027.
Which isn't
Well, it's
that
a couple
far
of
away.
years. Yeah, it's a couple of years.
2027 is not that far from where we are right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's less than 2 years.
3 more seasons.
Yeah.
So they added the gold pants this year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like their uniforms? See, I'm not a uniform guy, so I'm turning to you, Cakes, because you're a uniform guy. Like, to me, it doesn't matter that
I was
much.
Anti-black. I know everyone's trendy with the black.
But that's the Jaden Daniels jersey you have.
Nothing to me.
But now you love
once
it.
I got that Jaden Daniels black 5, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I will say, again, I don't know. I guess some people get so stuck in their positions they can never change their opinion. So I changed my opinion on that. I didn't like the black. Now I like it.
I like the black unis. I don't love the burgundy jersey with the big Commanders underneath the collar. Not a fan of that. The white is okay. But just go back to something that's close to what Skins fans were used to for so many years.
Yeah, but like the Seahawks changed. They're not like the old Seahawks.
It's a modernized version of their older logo that they've had since the 70s.
I wish the Seahawks were bringing back.
a lot of the teams
you know
have
what people
changed.
love when the Seahawks bring back their 70s and 80s style uniforms.
They should do it all the
for a
time.
few games.
I like
People love that look.
I like the Buccaneers old look.
But I'm not the right person to ask because I kind of like when the Seahawks break out their highlighter uniforms. I don't mind that. But I also like their classic look too with the gray helmet. Like I can do both.
You like most things.
I like
uniform.
You like most unis.
I like most tweaks to uniforms. That is true.
800-636-1067. Do you think something larger is in play here? Jason, does this signal anything to you?
I mean, they clearly would love to go back to the Redskins and the Redskins colors, but they can't go back to the name. They want to make changes. They absolutely do. Does it mean is there gonna be a name change in correlation with the color change? I don't know. I don't think so. But they clearly want to hang on to that.
They have a new president.
And you know what? The fans want to see. They got a new president, the guy from Campbell's, right?
Yep.
So, and that's what the story says. He's probably not going to make a big uniform change in the first year.
Quotes are he's not going to walk in the door and 3 months later change something, which is why we should hit the brakes. Nothing's going to happen fast. I'm sure he's got ideas, but they're not going to do anything overnight. There's going to be a lot of thought put into it, which I think makes all the sense in the world. Why would you rush it? If this is gonna be the last name under the Harris ownership group, you better put a lot of thought into it. What it's going to be, what the rebrand's going to look like. what the uniforms are going to look like. Like you don't
If you
just do it
change the
snap
name.
of a finger.
Because teams change uniforms all the time and don't change names. You just mentioned
that is true.
the Seahawks. You can go through countless teams that change or tweak uniforms. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I saw some negative reaction this week. The Mets have been changing their uniforms over the years, and they've just gotten worse, according to most fans.
Right.
I don't know if it signals anything larger. Valdez, Drab, do you think that this signals something bigger, that they're tweaking the uniform potentially?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, I definitely think so. I'm kind of lockstep with Cakes about this.
Yeah, come on over, Valdez. There's room over here. Jump in. The pool's warm.
It's just embarrassing to change the name 400 times. And it's just embarrassing for the organization.
Do you think something
it's
larger is in play?
I mean, I know they probably do want to change the name. Maybe it correlates with the new stadium.
I just think it's an easy thing to tweak. Other teams have done it, didn't change their name, and you get brand new sales.
I'm with you. Drab, you wanted to chime in?
Well, it just shows to me that the people in charge are unsatisfied with the brand overall, whether it's the uniforms, the name, whatever it is. They don't like it.
Or it's a
as
way
is.
to squeeze out more money.
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Because these guys grew up. You squeeze out more money if
you squeeze out more money by making it look more like the old.
Then every team would change their uniforms all the time. That's just not. Or their names. They don't do that.
I don't get this. I don't get the sense that this group would nickel and dime their fan base.
They may not nickel and dime their fan base, but he's made a point publicly of saying that he needs to recoup his money. That they spent $6 billion on the team, way more than
he wouldn't do it if he liked it.
Like he didn't when he bought the Sixers, he didn't change their name because they have a good name. When he bought the Devils, he didn't change their name. It's been an established name. People like the name.
I thought this was about the uniform. It's not about the uniform. It's about the name.
It's about everything.
Hand in hand. They don't go hand in hand. The name and the uniform.
I don't think it
necessarily does because, as we said, we gave 19 different mentions of teams that have tweaked their uniforms. The Lions, the Rams, every team. The Eagles. I could think of.
I know, but
Bucks,
we're doing
Dolphins.
this. We're talking about this 2 days after Kevin Sheehan says that he has a source that says they're going to drop.
Kevin, I don't know that he said he had a source. Did he?
He just
said.
He says, yeah, he said
hearing. And someone told me that
I'm sure he does.
That Kevin has been diehard. The name blows from day one, and he's just trying to manifest this.
Did you know Don Van Natta went on Al Galdi's podcast and said they're going to change the name too?
I heard that.
No, I don't know who Don Van. I've heard of Don Van Natta.
He's the guy that writes all the articles about the toxic workplace.
He just wrote the article about Snyder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
It was him and Seth Wickersham. Yeah.
There are signals all over the place that the name eventually is going to get changed. I know we're doing the uniform thing, but if you have a name change, of course you're going to tweak the uniforms or have brand new uniforms.
They'll tweak
Everything's
the uniform.
going hand in hand here.
All right, but if they're tweaking the uniforms, they're tweaking them way before they change the name.
That's possible.
Yeah.
They're not changing the name this offseason.
No, I'm still standing by before they tee up that ball in 2027, week 1, they will have a new name.
I think it's just pretty common to change names.
And I think
uniforms,
where Bram mentions the fact that this new president is in place, that gives him plenty of time to
the Campbell
do whatever
soup guy.
focus groups you want to do and to plot it out and to get it approved by the league.
Good luck finding a name that's not going to be just hated by a large percentage.
I'm with you, EB. I think that it could signal, but I don't think it's signaling a name change. I think they want to make more money. They don't love the uniforms. It's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And this guy from Campbell Soup, you want to make an assumption that he's all about the name change. He's going to be the president. He's about selling seats. Sure. That's the main job of the president. Sell more suites, sell more seats, make more money.
Well, if they go 14-6 every year, they're going to do that.
Right.
So isn't there a rule that you can't change the name more than once within 5 years as well?
Yes. So I don't know if the exact number of years, but yes.
I thought it was 5.
There's definitely you can't just keep willy-nilly changing the name.
What's 5 years after 2022? 2027?
Right.
Is that when they change it in 22?
Interesting.
Case is
how
always
those
talking
things line
about
up.
how branding, it's important for branding, and this idea that we don't understand branding. I very much understand branding. What's also not great about branding is changing your name all the time.
Yeah.
Trust me. What are we? Odyssey, Entercom, CBS Radio? What are we?
We're Odyssey now, but the one that I think of is what is the it's not Sprite. What's the one that they just changed to like something like six? Like you can't even think of it. It's like Sparkle or something like that.
It's Drab. We're a soda guy. The new lemon lime rebrand. It's Starry.
Starry. I said Sparkle.
It's not a great
Starry
name.
used
It went from Sierra Mist to Starry.
I think
that is a catastrophic.
It's not
That's
great.
a catastrophic.
It's
miss.
not fantastic.
So Sierra Mist doesn't exist
No
anymore.
good luck finding a Sierra Mist bottle.
It'll come back.
You think so?
Starry will fail.
Starry isn't fantastic.
I believe Brett Oliverio is a big fan of Starry. I think he uses that down there at
I
Step
switched
Dogs.
to Starry.
Yeah.
Well, he must have got a deal or something.
I got a good deal.
Not because he likes the name.
I don't think they just want people buying their product.
I was distraught. I went to a place.
Yeah,
I don't need to say the
vodka
place.
Starry.
I went to a place this week that flipped from Coke to Pepsi. It's distraught. They had cherry Coke there before, which I love.
You should have walked out.
And now they got Pepsi
I
products.
swear to God, I can't tell the difference, but I don't care. I just drink either one.
Oh, I can definitely. If you line up a Diet Coke, a Coke Zero, and a Diet Pepsi, I could spot them a mile away. These taste buds, bazillion.
Yeah, I'm not that
very
locked
discerning when it comes to sodas.
I'm not that locked in.
I'm a soda expert.
I think it doesn't necessarily signal something big, but maybe I'm just being stubborn. Maybe he's just being stubborn. The name isn't going to change.
So the line here, though the front office is aware the Commanders moniker isn't the most popular among fans, that doesn't sway you guys into thinking that they're going to change it?
No, because
they know
previously,
the fan base for the most part thinks it stinks.
I could give you quotes previously of what they've said about the name where they haven't indicated. They basically said, well, we won't rule it out.
Right.
But they don't seem like they're all about
slow playing. No, they know they have a bunch of other things they need to take care of before
that's
change
the thing.
of the name.
The stadium is the number one thing.
Understood.
And that's not going to happen in 2027. So I don't see them changing the name before they get a new stadium.
Oh, I do.
All right, well, we can wager on it.
I mean, I've already got a wager in the book.
Right.
I'm going to go broke wagering.
why.
Yeah, you are
so confident. You should be
because it ain't happening.
Or I'm going to get rich.
Exactly.
Well, you let me know. You let me know.
I mean, my gambling money is all my endorsement money, and that's all evaporated. I haven't done a live read in weeks.